So what if you could break into a $700 billion market with just a smart idea and the right strategy? Well, in this explainer, we are unlocking the exact blueprint for launching your own successful app development company in 2025. Okay, let's just start with the sheer scale of this thing. 5.4 billion. That's how many people have a smartphone right now. I mean, think about that. More than half the entire planet is walking around with a supercomputer in their pocket, just waiting for the next great app. And all those people, they've created a monster of an economy. The global app market is now pulling in over $700 billion every single year. This isn't some small niche corner of the tech world anymore. It's right at the heart of how business gets done. And that really leads to this huge shift in thinking, which this quote just nails. For pretty much any business out there today, an app isn't a nice-to-have luxury. Nope. It's an essential digital asset, just as important as having a website or even a phone number. So this fundamental shift, it's creating this massive wave of opportunity. Let's dive into the why behind this whole venture and really look at the demand that's fueling this entire industry. And this demand isn't just coming from the big guys, the huge corporations. Take a look at the small business market. Yeah, 45% already have an app, which is interesting. But the real opportunity, it's that 30% right there in the middle, the ones who are actively planning to get one built. That is a huge market just waiting for someone like you. And we're not just talking about one or two sectors here. The need for app development is absolutely exploding everywhere. Seriously. Your local coffee shop wants a loyalty app. Your gym needs a class scheduler. Your doctor's office needs a patient portal. The demand is universal, and man, is it growing fast. So the big question is, how do you actually break into this booming market? Well, it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. Let's take a look at the 4 main paths you can choose from. You've basically got 4 main options on the table. First, there's native. That's building an app specifically for iOS or Android. It gives you the best performance, hands down. Then you have cross-platform, where you use one code base for both, which can save you a ton of time and money. Progressive web apps, or PWAs, are basically websites that act and feel like a native app. And then you have the real game changer, no code, which lets you build amazing apps visually. It's incredibly fast and way more affordable. But of course, it's not all easy street. Let's be real about the challenges you're going to face, because knowing what's coming is half the battle. It really boils down to this classic risk versus reward scenario. On one hand, the rewards are massive. We're talking about a market with sky-high demand and the chance for some serious scalable revenue. But on the other hand, the risks are just as real. It's a crowded space, and the technology is changing so fast that what's cutting edge today could be old news tomorrow. But here's the key takeaway. You shouldn't see these challenges as roadblocks. They're actually opportunities in disguise. With some smart planning and the right set of tools, you can stay way ahead of the curve and turn these hurdles to your advantage. So what does that smart planning actually look like in practice? Well, here you go. This is the 8-step blueprint that'll take you from just an idea to a fully functioning agency, and we've broken it down into 2 clear phases. Phase 1 is all about building a rock-solid foundation. I mean, before you write a single line of code or design a single screen, you have to do your homework. That means figuring out your target market, getting all your legal ducks in a row, deciding on your tech approach, and, of course, assembling the right team. Okay, once that foundation is set, it's time for phase 2, execution. This is where you actually bring your agency to life. You'll build up a portfolio to show people what you can do, figure out a pricing model that actually makes sense, get out there and market yourself to land those all-important first clients, and then put the right systems in place so you can grow. Now let's get to the single biggest advantage you have as a newcomer in this market, and that is the rise of no-code development. This is the tech that's making it more accessible and affordable to start an app company than ever before in history. So the key to unlocking the power of no-code is something called a white label solution. Just think of it like this. Another company does all the heavy lifting. They build the powerful engine and the software platform, and then they let you put your own brand on it and sell it as your own service. It's a ready-made business just waiting for your logo. And the benefits, they're absolutely transformative. For starters, you don't need a huge, expensive team of coders, which just slashes your costs. It lets you focus your time and energy on growing the business, getting clients, instead of worrying about software maintenance. And the result of all that? You can scale up your client base way faster and more profitably.
Ultimately, this whole no-code white label approach completely changes the nature of the business. It transforms app development from this super complex technical headache into a scalable business opportunity where you can win based on your strategy and your service, not just the size of your bank account.
So, there you have it. You've got a booming market, a clear 8-step plan, and these incredibly powerful no-code tools that have completely leveled the playing field. The barrier to entry for starting an app company has literally never been lower. So the only question left is, are you ready?